seriously, is this how it's going to be now? Well, hello there and welcome back to another episode of glennzb TV, the show that puts glennzb into your TV. And first up, let's just bask in the brilliance that is the All Blacks. It's a hard night for Robbie on Saturday night, wasn't it? I've got some footage. I've just pulled off the video of that game. There's Robbie saying, "Oh, come on!" And here he is. He appears to be crying in that picture there. And then I realised that as I pulled these pictures off the footage of that game, in actual fact, that neither of those pictures were from Saturday night's game. They were actually from a game a year ago. So it's been a sort of a hard year for Robbie, hasn't it? He's just been crying and saying, "Oh, come on," for about at least a year now. Because the reason I figured that out is because that guy was in those pictures, and that's Jim Williams. He used to be the assistant coach. Now we've got this guy going, "Ah, come on!" That's his new assistant coach. That's the guy from Ireland who now is Robbie's assistant coach. So yeah, there's a lot of people doing this and ripping headsets out of their ears watching the Australian team play, and none of them understand that it's all just a brilliant masterstroke with our double agent Robbie in charge of the Australian football team. And let's just keep that happening, I say. It's working out well for us. Right, let's have another exciting instalment. This is a new regular feature of Learn Geography through current events. I don't know if that fits in the shot, hopefully it does. But because we've got John Key making these statements about Hungary in Afghanistan, because in the aftermath of all these attacks and dead New Zealand soldiers, we've got Key saying that New Zealand soldiers were facing more danger because they were patrolling areas that Hungarian soldiers refused to. So he's basically saying that Hungary are scaredy cats and we are brave. So what do we know about Hungary? Not much. So here it is. This is Hungary. Kind of a weird blobby shape. It's one of the more asymmetrical countries I've ever seen, to be honest. And it's bordered by Slovakia and Austria and Slovenia and Croatia and Serbia. Oh, masses of countries all around there. What else can I tell you? The official currency of I was going to say Slovakia, of Hungary is the forint. Don't you know? I didn't know. The life expectancy rate in Hungary is only 66 for men and 74 for women. So that seems low, doesn't it? But this was one of the really interesting facts, is that some of the great inventions come from Hungary. And when I say great inventions, I'm talking about the ballpoint pen, the Rubik's Cube, and it says here holography. Holography? I guess that's making stuff with holograms. That's a bit lame-ass to be that invention. We've never really used that except for going to like Puzzling World and looking at holograms. Yeah, that's the only time we've really used that, I think. Now, we'll move on. Ed is awaiting charges, of course. This is after his dastardly assault on me last week. So he's probably a bit nervous at the moment. He's a bit like, you know, Breivik in Norway. You know, will he be sane? Will he be insane? Will they charge him? What do you mean you don't know what I'm talking about? Alan, dial up the footage of the assault on me last week, and I want you to zoom in if you can. Just zoom in right on his eyes, because here we need to see if we can detect an intent to kill. Because that's important. Because is it just common assault? Is it grievous bodily harm? Or is it in fact attempted murder? So if we have another look at those eyes, I think you can see murder in his eyes there. Because the point is, that's the arm that got dislocated 4 weeks ago, Ed! And you started pinching me, and kind of punching me on the dislocated shoulder. That's not nice. That's not nice. So yeah, I'll just decide what I'm going to charge him with later on. I'll let you know. Places I've never been. The moon. Never been to the moon. I don't really have a strong desire to go there. The reason I bring this up is because Neil Armstrong died, of course, and all I've heard ever since he died is people wondering whether we've actually ever been there and whether he actually went there. And this is an old chestnut that just keeps going round and round and round and round. Doesn't really matter, because nobody actually wants to go there, because there's nothing there. You know, if they'd made it up, they would have made it look more interesting, and then more people would be interested in going there, surely. Mars, the same. There's nothing there. It's like a beach, except with no swim-up bar. So why would you go there? I'll go back to Rarotonga, because you can snorkel right off the beach. And that's fantastic. No snorkeling on Mars, no snorkeling on the moon. Not interested. I've got more Armstrong questions, though. Why does Mike Hosking think that Lance Armstrong is not a doper? now that he's come out and said, I'm not defending myself anymore. Because there's one thing that I am absolutely certain that Armstrong is not, and that's a quitter. He is not a quitter. This guy had cancer in his testicles and beat it. He didn't lie down and go, oh, ball cancer, that's a bummer. He beat it, right? He didn't give up. And when everybody said, oh, you'll never ride again, he kept going. Why would he quit now? It just doesn't add up to me. Mike Hosking, you need a reality check. And what you want to do is you want to go back online and listen to his interview with Armstrong's teammate Stephen Swart, which he did today. Because you can hear Hosking's hopes and dreams just dying as he talks to Stephen Swart, who said that everybody was doing it back in the 90s. Anyway, that's the death of Mike Hosking's hopes and dreams. That has been another edition of Glenn ZB TV. Thank you for having Glenn ZB in your tally.